Hello and welcome, y'all. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game coming called Under a Rock. So this game is being developed by a group of 5 people. The developers are called Nordic Trolls. The publisher is Gameforge. The game does not have a release date yet, but we've been given information, little tidbits here and there throughout the last couple years. And I've seen it off and on around, but I haven't really followed it hardcore until more recently. I've gotten into it and it looks like it's going to be an absolutely adorable, fun, open world kind of survival game. But for those of you who are not familiar with it, I'll go ahead and read a description straight from the developers. It's a procedural open world survival craft game for 1 to 10 players. Explore a primitive but dangerous place with a different evolutionary path. Here, wildlife is oversized, Neanderthals still exist, and curses are real. So in this game, you are an early 19th century explorer. You just arrived on this island. You crash landed. According to what I'm reading, more than likely your hot air balloon was down by a supernatural storm in a world lost to history, a hidden world that few can travel to and from, a primitive but dangerous place with different evolutionary paths. So the storyline seems pretty interesting. I'm very, very curious about that and to see how deep it goes. But it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun just from that alone. The mission for the game, the underlying mission itself, is to find out what happened to a previous expedition, lift a curse that lies over the land, and discover a way to escape back home through the supernatural storm with as much treasure, artifacts, and native wildlife as you possibly can collect to increase your standing with the Society of Explorers. Apart from this, just have fun exploring, crafting, building, fighting, taming, hunting, surviving, and more. And for those of you who know me, who have watched my streams and watched my content, y'all know I'm a loot goblin and I am more than happy to collect as many animals as possible in the game. So right up my alley, already excited for that. They do go a little bit further and describe the procedural world too. But when you start a new game, a procedural world that is unique to you is created. Each world measures about 64 kilometers and includes caves, underwater areas to explore, water bodies like lakes and ponds. They're not limited to ocean level and can be found at any elevation. Each world has a seed number that can be shared, and your avatar is not locked to one specific world. You may freely travel between worlds with all of your stats and gear intact. So it's kind of like Valheim and Aloft, where you have your character that you've created, and it's up to you if you want to take that same character into each new world that you create or that you go to, or if you want to start fresh each time, which I love that. I think that's actually awesome. So if you want to run around and play with your friends on their worlds or in other worlds in general, you can. You don't have to constantly keep starting over and keeping track of multiple characters and all that. You can use the same character in all of it, which I think is awesome. I like having that option, just to have that ability. So they do go and explain the AI in the game as well. So they say, we want to make Under a Rock more interesting by having dynamic AI and are currently developing an AI engine for this purpose. It allows AI to remember and respond to your actions and the actions of other AI, compete for territory and resources, even construct new bases and defenses. Don't be surprised if a neighboring clan of Neanderthals stage a raid on your base just because you smell wrong, or a pack of dodos take a liking to you. Different AI factions can grow closer to each other or grow apart as time goes by. Nothing is set in stone, and a fresh game with a new world is likely to throw a few surprises. Y'all, I can't tell you how many times I play games and the NPCs get to be so predictable. You know what to look for with their moves. You know what they're gonna do. Like, you can predict everything. But something like this is quite intriguing because you really don't know. You may be able to figure things out to a point, know what to expect. But the fact that it grows and learns and can do different things or act differently each time, like, that's actually kind of cool. It keeps it interesting. It keeps it exciting, I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm really curious how that's gonna play out. I think that could be cool. They do also explain the caves that they had mentioned earlier. So caves come in all shapes and sizes, from small to gargantuan, with the latter being a whole biome by itself. Creatures inhabit them, and they rarely like to share the space or the precious resources found within. Kick them out, claim the space, and build your base within. There are no limits. So you can literally go into a cave and just take over the whole thing and make it yours, which, that's cool. There are a lot of games where you can build in caves and, make that your home and some people absolutely love that, and that's cool. So I like that that's an option too. You're not limited to where you can build. That's pretty awesome. They do go also into a little bit deeper of an explanation of their base building. So there are 2 build modes that can be switched between seamlessly. They have a default build mode, replacing solid constructions directly if you have the necessary resources. They also have an advanced build mode. It allows you to plan and prioritize your base construction and for your friends to help build it by inputting the necessary resources. They call it ghost building. So it's kind of like that whole blueprint build system, kind of like what you had in Nightingale and Dune Awakening, where you can put down the blueprints and then fill them. It sounds like it's going to be kind of like that, which is pretty cool. I know some people may be worried about their bases getting destroyed or losing it altogether. And this is where they go further to explain that the ghost building can actually be very helpful in these situations. So you can activate the auto-save blueprint of your base or a manually saved version. Any destroyed base elements from the largest to the smallest will show up in a ghost element, and all you have to do is input the necessary resources. Basically what that means is there's an auto-save for your build that you can just go ahead and activate, and it'll show you what pieces are missing, and you can fix it that way. Or you can manually save a whole blueprint of your base and just plop the sucker right back down. That's pretty cool. So I actually like that. So you really don't have to stress too much because your base is going to be saved. The only thing you'll have to do is just have the resources to rebuild. That's it. So they do mention also that they plan on eventually making it so that construction blueprints can be saved for later use and also be shared with other players. You cannot pack down your base and unpack it later, but you'll be able to make blueprints and reuse these at any location as part of the ghost building system. So you can use it quickly to establish a campsite, a small outpost, or even a large base. That's pretty awesome. It looks like they're really focusing a lot on the building aspect, which I fully appreciate. There will be few rules limiting how and where to build on the ground, in the trees, inside the caves, even underwater. They won't stop you building from those locations, but the wildlife might try to. So if you build in the water, for example, it sounds like some creatures there could possibly cause some trouble for you, or like they had already mentioned earlier, in the caves. So depending on where you build, just be cautious. So we do know that there is the possibility for PvP, but you can turn that on or off, so you don't have to PvP at all. But that is an option for people who do prefer that, so that will be an option in the game. They will have options to where you can set up dedicated servers. You can rent servers through different hosts, whoever they end up partnered with. They will have public servers, and then you can also still play offline in a single player type mode. You can simply just host a server and let your friend play on it while you're online. That actually is awesome. For me personally, especially when I stream and I make content, I like having that single player world. Like, I can focus on what I need to do and get it done, and that's awesome. Another thing that I always enjoy in games is a good character creation. So they have released video showing what the character creation looks like a little bit. So I know obviously we can't see everything here, but this gives us a little bit of an idea of the extent of it. There's a lot of options as far as colors and shades and the styles of your characters. It actually looks like it's pretty extensive. I'm really excited for this. So they got a yes from me with the character creation. There's so many awesome things that I've seen so far with this game, and I'm really curious where it's gonna go from here. I cannot wait to get my hands on it, to get in here, to get to running around and playing the game. And I know they have an alpha test that they'll more than likely do at some point. Hopefully it'll be soon. Hopefully we get a chance to get in there and play around and see what this game has to offer. But that's something we won't know right now. That's for later. So keep an eye out for more information as it comes. Please remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss any content coming in the future. I do want to give a special shout out to the members of the Chaos Crew. Y'all are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate everything. You are what makes this possible. You're what keeps me going, and it means so much to me. I want to give a special shout out to the ultimate Chaos Crew member, the Guardian 1970. You are completely epic, my friend. Thank you for all the love and support you give. It means so much to me. Do have a link in the top right to another one of my videos if you'd like to check it out. And remember, you are freaking amazing. Dodo. Dodo.